Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some unbelievably fantastic news. I really don't know how else to explain it other than this. We have just recently received news that DEADSPIN, yes, that DEADSPIN, that company that tried to frame that little boy who wanted to dress up as his favorite team as someone who's racist, as someone who's wearing blackface, yes, that DEADSPIN, well, apparently Geo Media that owned DEADSPIN has completely sold off the company immediately without any notice whatsoever and laid off the entire staff.
It's the web, I'm sorry,
You're all fired.
Huh?
Now, you guys can come up with whatever theories you want regarding the reason for them doing this, but all I know is that I am unbelievably happy that the writer who wrote that goddamn article about that kid wearing blackface and everybody else who supported that writer is now out of a job, rightfully so. These people are a detriment to society. They literally are. They try to lie about a child. They try to cancel a child, and they made up a complete bullshit spun story just because they can get those clicks on the website, because apparently it was dying off anyway. So let's get into this article, guys, from New York Post. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm, and also like the video just because this is fantastic news. I mean, honestly, I am so happy to report on this. It's insane. This is one of the fastest get woke go brokes that I have seen since probably Resident Evil on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen, or even Cowboy Bebop for that matter. Like, it's that level of get woke go broke. So it says sports blogging site DEADSPIN was sold to a European startup, and the entire staff was reportedly fired with barely any notice on Monday, just months after the publication was forced to apologize for wrongly accusing a young Kansas City Chiefs fan of wearing blackface. No, they didn't wrongly accuse. They knew exactly what they were doing. Let's not give these people any benefit of the doubt. There's no wrong accusation. It's not like they took the picture and thought he was wearing blackface. They knew damn well this man, or I'm sorry, this kid had half of a black face and half of a red face to mimic the colors of his favorite team. They knew exactly what it was, but they decided to lie about it anyway, because that way they can make themselves look like the arbiters of social justice. It says Jim Spanfeller, the CEO of parent Geo Media, broke the news of the layoffs and DEADSPIN's sale to Lineup Publishing in a memo to shock staff. The latest piece of the company's crumbling empire to be dumped amid a wave of job cuts rolling the entire industry. Lineup will not carry over any of the site's existing staff and instead build a new team more in line with their editorial vision for the brand, Spanfeller wrote. While the new owners plan to be reverential to Deadspin's unique voice, they plan to take a different content approach regarding the site's overall sports coverage. Well, maybe they'll cover sports. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they'll actually cover sports and not identity politics. Maybe, just maybe, they won't call fans racist who aren't actually racist. You know, maybe we could go down that odd rabbit hole, but apparently that's just not possible for people who own it or owned it previously. It just wasn't a possible thing. No, you had to accuse a child of fake blackface in order to get people to go to your website. That's how irrelevant DEADSPIN was as a whole. That's amazing to me. Look at this. They purposely did this. Don't tell me they did not purposefully take this picture knowing damn well this kid was not rocking blackface. You got to be stupid to think that he was rocking blackface. But of course, again, I'm not giving it a benefit of doubt because I know that this was not an accident. I know that they purposefully did this. It says a rep for Deadspin said 11 staffers based in Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago were canned. Oh, so 3 of the most woke democratic cities you could possibly imagine all lost their jobs. Okay, not shocking. Among those were senior writer Karen Phillips, who penned an incendiary column last November that accused 9-year-old Chiefs fan Holden Armenta of racism against Native Americans and black people for wearing blackface and headdress to a football game. The site ran a photo of Holden showing just the right side of his face that was painted brown under a headline that blared, "The NFL needs to speak out against Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress." However, a photo of his full face showed it was painted both brown and red. Phillips failed to mention that Holden is of Native American descent and he was wearing war paint, the one color covering each side of his face. Now that was even more ridiculous. You tried to cancel a kid who you thought was white, right? You thought this kid was white. That alone was hilarious. Then you try to cancel the kid for wearing the colors of his favorite team, and then he happens to be Native American on top of that. I mean, how much egg on your face could you possibly have at once? That is literally multiple shots of idiocy straight to your face, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So I'm happy to know that this complete loser by the name of Phillips has lost his job, because he's an absolute loser. He really is. The fact that he did this to a kid is just honestly irreprehensible. It says Holden's grandfather, Raul Armenta, sits on the board of the Chumash tribe in Santa Ynez in California, according to the Post-Millennial. Deadspin, which has been owned by GEO since 2019, quietly tweaked the article amid a firestorm of criticism, as well as legal threats from Holden's parents, and added an editor's note saying the publication regrets any suggestion that we were attacking Holden. Last month, the family filed a defamation lawsuit seeking unspecified damages. I wonder if they sold the company to try to do something about this lawsuit. I don't really know if that's even possible, but I feel like maybe they did. I have no idea. But the fact that they try to say, oh, they regret any suggestion that we were attacking. No. There's no suggestion. You were attacking him. You actively were attacking a 9-year-old boy who had every right to be dressed up the way that he was. You were attacking him because of your journalism. That's your investigative journalism there, folks. It says journalism in the country as a whole is better today now that Karen Phillips no longer has a platform to target innocent kids with his agenda-driven writing. Libby Locke, the lawyer representing He family, told the Post on Monday. Well, to be truthful, he's going to find a job somewhere. Karen Phillips is going to find a job writing somewhere. We need to know where he finds a job so we can boycott that outlet as well, because anybody that hires this complete loser needs to know of his past beforehand, and they must think to themselves that it's perfectly fine if they hire him. So if he gets hired for another writing job, I want to know where and what that place is. It says, we are also grateful to GEO Media for infusing the company with cash that could be used to pay the judgment the Armenta family is going to win against. Ha, nice. Hell yeah, man. Let's take all the money. They sold the company just so they can take that money and give it to the family they tried to attack in the first place. That's the kind of epic justice win that I want to see more of. The Post reached out for Phillips for comment. Phillips, a former New York Daily News columnist, had ripped Holden's Native American headdress and his tomahawk chop gesture, claiming that the boy found a way to hate black people and Native Americans at the same time. It takes a lot to disrespect two groups of people at once, Phillips wrote in the article, which has since been tagged with a community note on X, branding it purposefully deceiving. This is what happens when you ban books, stand against critical race theory, and try to erase centuries of hate, he wrote. You give future generations the ammunition they need to evolve and recreate racism better than before. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has so much egg on his face, it's not even funny. He wants to claim that this is what happens when you get rid of critical race theory and all these other racist notions that he's talking about. But the funny thing is, he was the one that ended up being the racist at the end of this all. He was the one. This is what happens when you advocate for those things. You create victim-minded losers like Phillips that are going to look for victimhood in every single thing that they look at. And since he's a writer, everything that he writes is going to be from that perspective. It's going to be from a victim's perspective. That's how he views his life. That's how he views his race. So it's not funny. It's not funny at all, honestly. It's just not. But ultimately, you got to have a laugh at his expense. You do, because he deserves everything that's coming to him. And I'm glad that he is now officially on the unemployment line. And hopefully, there's nobody in headdresses or anything at this unemployment line. Otherwise, he might feel some sort of way. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
You're fired!
What?